Hello, viewers of Spell, and welcome to this edition of What If Midoriya was Yami's reincarnation? But before we get started, a quick update. So, for the time being, I'm going to try to improve the quality of my originals. Now, this might slow up production, but I think it'll be worth it. And without further ado, let's begin. Previously on this What If, Midoriya had discovered many other people had been getting their grimoires. And we finished the Aizawa's surprise tests. As the next few days of classes would go fairly well, just with the extra excitement of their teachers being pro heroes. Until they had their first hero course class. As they sat in there waiting, Midoriya was wondering which hero would be teaching the class. As All Might would come through, as he would say, "It is I, All Might, coming through the door like a normal person." Midoriya couldn't see the faces on the rest of the students, but he was at least 50% sure that none of them thought this was normal. As All Might coughed, as a couple students commented how it seems that he's going retro with his costume, he said, "Now, if you're going to be the heroes, you need to look the part." As he clicked a button, as one of the walls for the classroom opened up, revealing their hero costumes by seat arrangement. The class was excited as they walked to remove them as they went to the changing rooms to put them on. As they would come out, some students seemingly being a little uncomfortable in their costumes, either because they didn't think it through all the way, or the sizing was slightly off. But for the most part, they all seemed to have been rather pleased with their suit. As Midoriya would come out in a much more slim costume as in canon, as instead it was a mostly standard clothing, in a green color, with a black robe over the top, with his book pouch on one side, and on the other his sword. As he walked out, he noticed that a couple other people had books as well, primarily the Fuegoleon Todoroki, though he didn't see it on his brother. Other than that, he saw it on Ochako. He thought he saw it on the Invisible Girl, though the belt that it was on seemed to be opaque, and on Bakugo, which he was a little surprised on. As All Might explained the exercise's goal, we'll draw teams, and it'll be your job to either protect the bomb or secure it. We'll be breaking up the teams into Team Villain and Team Hero, as everyone retrieved their numbers. As Midoriya was on a team with Ochako, and they'd be going up against a team of Ida and Bakugo. Midoriya had a smile on his face. After all, him and Bakugo had grown apart. And Midoriya was starting to wonder who was stronger. Bakugo seemed to be the same. As they would be up first, everyone else was watching. As Midoriya pushed down the little bit of apprehension and went ahead. As Midoriya started explaining this plan to Uraraka, Bakugo and Ida would start a discussion, as Bakugo would just tell Ida to do whatever he wanted. He was going to go confront Midoriya, or as he called him, Deku. As Midoriya and Ochako would be entering the building, Bakugo would jump in with an explosion, Midoriya catching it, and Bakugo letting Ochako past, as Midoriya and Bakugo would begin a 1v1. Explosions would try reaching Midoriya, as he would keep Bakugo back with his sword. As he yelled, "Dark Art! Dark Slash! As a dark slash would fly through the air. Bakugo quickly dodging it, using his explosions to increase his speed. As Bakugo had a face of frustration on, as he reached to his gauntlet and prepared to unload it. But Bakugo was always a little too confident. As he started explaining what it was, Midoriya seemingly had a flash of realization as he shot forward and managed to crack the gauntlet before speeding over and trying to do the same to the other. Bakugo would be starting to get frustrated, as Midoriya started to smirk. After all, Midoriya was going to win this but as he began reaching for the capture tape to try to capture Bakugo, he would sense something. As the book Bakugo had fell off, Midoriya would recognize it as one of the grimoires he's noticed a couple people getting as it began to glow. Midoriya wasn't really sure how that was happening, as Bakugo managed to get up and jump back. The book would approach him, as both were confused, Bakugo would take a glance at it, before somewhat smiling, as he seemingly had channeled something from the book. As Midoriya was slightly shocked, he wouldn't do anything, as what looked like clawed gauntlets would appear over his Bakugo's hands and boots on his legs. As Midoriya gulped, All Might would be looking at this as he was preparing to stop the exercise when Bakugo was gonna blow a hole in the building. Now he was just confused, as he had made sure to look up all of his students' quirks, and this was definitely odd. As Bakugo would let out a massive explosion, Midoriya would rush forward. As a battle between explosion and blade would commence. As Midoriya would release slashes, Bakugo would release explosions, as he started experimenting with what this power could allow him to do. As he put his two hands together and ripped it out, he said, "Explosion Falcon!" As it shot out, racing toward Midoriya. He recognized it as looking like a bird. As he would release a slice of darkness, as the two would intercept as it would explode, taking out some of the walls to the side of it. As Midoriya started to really regret letting Bakugo just freely check his grimoire. Bakugo would start creating a sphere of explosion, as Midoriya really started regretting that decision. As both would rush forward, as over the intercom, All Might would yell, "This match is suspended!" As this would be enough to get both of their attentions, as they would stop. As All Might would continue saying, "Due to abnormal circumstances, I am calling this match. It is a draw. Both of you can return to the observation center." As everyone in the building had heard that, as All Might sighed, happy that they were able to hear him and stop, as he wondered what was going on. And that's where we're going to leave it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you find this idea interesting. All of those do help the channel. And yeah, I'm going to be trying to upgrade the quality after this one, since the YouTube algorithm will kill my channel if I go too long without putting out a video. And this will be a story. Sign off.